Typically, this takes about 30 seconds to a minute because it does call Claude to determine where to put in the budget info. As you can see, it says that it's done. And if I go back to this page and click refresh, there it is. It actually added the new item. All right, y'all, happy Saturday. Coming out with another video. I made a short about this earlier this week where I automated 70% of the work that I do for my day job. 70% is a rough estimate, but I will say that recently I've automated enough and removed enough friction that I'm doing a lot less work every day. Of course, that work might be replaced with more work now that I've gotten a lot of it automated, but that still means that I'm adding value to a business and I can automate that work too. So automation is not going to replace you. It's going to make the business more valuable and make you more valuable if you can do that. That's just a quick little intro. I wanted to actually talk about how I determined what to automate and how I combined it all into a dashboard that you're going to see right here. I'm hoping you can see that. Yeah, you can see this dashboard right here. This is what I've done ultimately. I combined it all into this retro looking cool theme. It's literally just one or two buttons for each of these. I made a financial spreadsheets automation, a financial accounting software automation, a OneDrive file distribution automation, an email assistant, project update automation, a weekly to-do and daily status automations for end-of-day email automations. That's a lot of automation. And a project management software automation with Asana. But yeah, the first thing I wanted to do is talk about how I determined what I even needed to automate. Well, I looked at the things that I was doing every day or repeatedly. That's kind of the key here. What are the things you're doing every day that are repeated, whether that's weekly or a couple times a week, but they're just processes that are SOPs. So you have one step, you have another step, and another step. Generally pretty clear as to what each step is. Those things can typically be automated. At least it's worth attempting, in my opinion, because you might get quite a lot out of that. So some of the things that I realized I was doing every day that were just wasting me time were, again, like I said, for this company, real estate development, every week I would update project financial budget spreadsheets. That's one thing that was just a pain to do every week. I had to go and look at all these bank documents and upload the accounting software, and no thanks. The other thing is updating the accounting software, right? We use Quicken for that. Quicken is this really old desktop software. It's not even a cloud software. So there's not an API that you can connect to. Was a bit of an annoyance. Some of these you'll see are half automated or mostly automated, not entirely, which is still good. If you have a task that takes you an hour and you automate 30% of it, you're saving yourself 30 minutes. That adds up. That's quite good. I wouldn't ignore tasks like that. The other thing that I would do is whenever I go into my email inbox, I would download every attachment related to the work and upload it into our OneDrive, which is the Microsoft's version of Google Drive. I ended up automating that, and now I can put all my attachments into a single folder and click a button, and it distributes them to where they need to go. So cloud file distribution. The other one is email inbox management. That's pretty straightforward. I get rid of emails that I don't need to see. I'm left with way less. I'll do a demo of that one and some of these other ones as well. Project updates, instead of going to an Airtable database and updating manually, I'll just tell the AI, hey, update these projects with these statuses. Project updates in Airtable. Also, every week I send an email with a to-do list to my manager, who's also my dad. We're the only two people working together in this business. Also, at the end of every day, I do the same thing. I send that same list and I write down whether each task was completed and a status next to it. So automated to-do updates. That's a Gmail automation and some Asana as well. The other thing is every day I update the Asana project management software with tasks. And that can be a bit annoying to do manually. So now I just tell AI to do everything. Asana automation. These are all things that I've done repeatedly every day or every week and that are SOP-able, I would call that. Not really a word, but it means you can map them out step by step. And if you were to tell somebody else how to do these things, they're pretty straightforward. You do this, then you do this, then you do this. There are some agentic functions there when you discuss, for example, how does the AI determine where to put files in the file system that I'm going to make? Well, I'll show you how that works, but I give it instructions. Take a look at the file name. Take a look at what it's saying. Match it to a similar folder name. If it says invoice in the title, it should go into an invoice folder. So there's some agentic reasoning there, of course. It makes decisions, but you can see where I'm going at with this. So without further ado, I want to go through each automation, or at least as many as I can here, and demo them out for you. So let me bring the dashboard back here. One thing to note as well, before I really jump into this, is I started off building each of these one by one and calling them in Claude Code. I didn't have this dashboard here that I built. I actually made each of these folders individually and spoke to Claude to, first of all, make them, edit them, and then activate them. And that was nice, but I do all these things on a daily basis. So eventually I realized, wait, I do all these functions all the time. Why not just put them in a single interface where I can call whenever I want them to? So that's what I asked Claude to do. I told it to give it this really neat retro look, give it these colors. I told it what fonts to use, or at least to use a clean font. I went back and forth with it. It wasn't great at first, but we fixed things, and now it looks really clean. The only thing is, because of the dashboard interface, it lost some functionality versus when I would use the IDE. But that's something you can fix over time. I haven't perfected this method. I've just done quite a bit of good stuff with it. I guess you could say good stuff. So yeah, let's go over it. Quicken Plan. Quicken is an accounting software. Like I said, every week we make budget sheet updates to 2 projects. We have more than that, but we just decided to try this automation with 2 projects. All I have to do is click this button, and what's going to happen is we have 2 folders for each project in our OneDrive. One of them is a folder with a template Excel sheet. I'm not going to show all this info because it's proprietary, obviously, but it'll take that sheet as an example, and every week I'll manually upload a report from Quicken into the OneDrive as well. It'll take the 2 newest files in those folders, take the data from the Quicken file, and pump it into a copy of the Excel file. And literally all I have to do is click this button and it'll show up. So let me show you the state of the folder before we get there. So this is basically it right here. You can see the newest one is from April 6th. These are the 2 folders that have the other items. So the budget sheet outline is from here. It'll take the newest spreadsheet from here. It'll take the newest item from here, and then it will make a new item with today's date, call it the same thing, and put in all the new data. I'm just going to show you the new item popping in here. Press a button right there. It's basically completely automatic. Hopefully there's not any private data being shared in this part. You can see the dashboard says that it's running. And we'll see how it goes. I used to use this in the terminal, like I said. We'll even see if it works. I think I've only used it in the terminal, generally speaking. And if this doesn't work, then I'll just show you the terminal version. It's not a big deal. Again, I haven't perfected this whole thing right here. Typically, this takes about 30 seconds to a minute because it does call Claude to determine where to put in the budget info. As you can see, it says that it's done. And if I go back to this page and click refresh, there it is. It actually added the new item. Testing has shown that it's pretty darn accurate. So I'm not even going to need to open it right now. You can set this up to do automated for weekly and whatever you use. If you use QuickBooks, it's even better. it's a more automated system and has an API. That's one example. I'm thinking I might not go through all of these. File distribution is kind of hard to show you, but let me go to that file. Let me go to that folder in our OneDrive real quick. So in our main folder here, I made this folder called file dump. So everything that I download from emails every day, instead of going one by one and going here and then to the other folder and this one and dragging it there and then going back, instead, I made this one folder. I put all the files in here, and all I have to do is click scan file dump. What happens is, I wonder what will happen because there's nothing in there right now. It should say there's nothing there. Right, no files found. But if there are files found, it'll list all the files. And depending on how I've named them, I'll name the files with a project name, what it is, and the category. So maybe it's an invoice. Maybe it's an architectural plan. I'll put that all in the title, and depending on that information, it'll use AI to determine which folder to put it into. It's been like 90% accurate, and it'll confirm with me before doing anything. These are all things that I ask Claude to configure. It's really not that hard. If you just have the imagination, you can do that. Email is one thing I will show you. So every day there's a whole bunch of emails. None of these are actually business related. Luckily, these are all marketing emails, which we get pretty much, which is very annoying. A lot of these are fed to me from another email that I'm forwarding from, and I can't unsubscribe from those. So what I'll do is, instead of going one by one and clicking archive this, read that, read, I made this automation which fetches all of them, classifies them from what's an actual email I need to read versus marketing emails with pretty good accuracy. And you'll see it'll come back. It'll give me a list of marketing and personal. So some of these are personal, some of them aren't. The ones that are personal, I keep here. If they're not, I just click this, which makes it like a newsletter. Same thing with this side. I can move the personal ones that it accidentally moved from here to here. I click archive. I'm not going to do that now because I want to, come back to emails on Monday. And then it works. I'm not going to demonstrate that, like I said, for that reason. But pretty cool, right? Just giving you some ideas of what you can do and how you can combine it all together in this sort of, I guess, project management automation system. The last one I'll show you is going to be the daily status. End of day, like I said, typically I take each task from Asana one by one and send it in an email. That's just what my dad requests. A bit annoying, but I figured out a way to automate it. If we go to my Asana right now, there shouldn't be any like secret information in here. I don't think so. Okay, so we look here, bunch of tasks I have active right now, nothing crazy. I do this, see what it does. Actually this one might be one of the broken ones. I might need to show you this one outside of the dashboard, I wonder. And if not, then I'll just go ahead and try the other one, which might work just fine. Let's see here. So I'll try one more time here. If that doesn't work, then I'll just show you manually. Like I said, I haven't really perfected this part, but the one in the IDE, I'll just open it. I'll just open it now, or I can even tell it to do it from here. Give it a moment. Okay, that's not working. So I'm going to try it manually here. Hey Claude, could you fetch me my list of tasks from Asana and then set up a draft in my email to send for the weekly update, for weekly to-do update? I would do this before. I would speak to it manually every time I needed something. Like I said, I'm trying to automate it completely that I can just do it through this dashboard, but it's not perfect yet. So we'll see what it does. It'll get back to me since it already has this data in one of these folders. So I just got that back. Okay, I'm not going to show that. So I just got that back. It actually adds the email I want to send it to. I don't want to show that to you because it was a private email, but it took all the tasks I have right now, and yeah, they're all from here. You can see that they were all included in this draft email all I have to do is click send. That's literally it. Again, just some ideas of how you can automate your own stuff at work. Think about things that are repeated, things that you can do a step-by-step process for. Then just talk to Claude and say, hey, I want to make this automation that does X, and then it does X, and then it does X, then Y, then Z. I do it every day. It can even set it up for you on a cloud platform, like Modal, which allows you to run it on a schedule and takes you completely out of the process. You don't even need to click all these buttons. But yeah, that's it. I know this is a very basic video. I didn't teach you necessarily, or I didn't do a demo, which is what I've typically been doing. But I figured I'd talk about this. I'd love to have more ideas to make videos, you guys. I not that I'm necessarily short on ideas, but I feel like some ideas I have are like this one are just kind of like meh, it's a decent video. I want to actually work on things that help me learn and that help the viewers as well. So feel free to leave a comment and tell me what you want to see. Also, thank you for all the support recently. We're at like 65 subs as of the making of this video right now. Last week I was at 34, so close to doubled in a week. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. Check out the description. You can see if you want to work with me. Go to my website and send me a message. That's about it, guys. Thanks for watching.